Today's story is called The Robe of Feathers. It is a Japanese folktale from the book More Japanese Children's Favorite Stories. Once there was a fisherman who lived all alone on a tiny island in Japan. He was very poor and very lonely. Early one morning, he started towards his boat. There had been a bad storm the night before, but now the sun was shining brightly. As he walked along, he saw something hanging on a branch of one of the pine trees along the beach. It was beautiful and shining. He took it down from the branch and found that it was a wonderful robe made of feathers. The feathers were of all different colors, as lovely and soft as a rainbow, and they shined and sparkled in the sun like jewels. It was the most beautiful thing the fisherman had ever seen in all his life.
"Oh, what a beautiful robe,"
he said.
"It is certainly a priceless treasure. There is no one else on my island, so it can't belong to anyone. I'll take it home and keep it always. Then my poor home will be beautiful, and I can look at the robe whenever I'm lonely."
Holding the robe very carefully in his rough hands, he turned and started to carry it home. Just then, a beautiful woman came running after him.
"Mr. Fisherman, Mr. Fisherman,"
she called.
"that's my robe of feathers that you're taking away. Please give it back to me."
She went on to explain that she was an angel from heaven and that the robe of feathers was actually her wings. While she was flying through the sky, the storm had come and wet her wings so she could not fly. So she waited on this island until the sun came out, and then she had hung her wings out to dry on a pine tree where the fisherman had found them.
"So you see,"
she finished,
"if you don't give me my wings back, I'll never be able to fly back to my home in heaven again."
Then the woman began to weep. The fisherman felt very sad for her.
"Please don't cry.
He said,
Of course I'll give you the robe of feathers. If I'd known it belonged to anyone, I'd never have touched it."
And he knelt down before her and handed her the robe. The angel began at last to smile, and her face was shining with happiness.
"Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Fisherman.
She said,
You're such a good man that I'm going to dance the angel's dance for you."
Then the angel put on the robe of many colored feathers and began to dance there before the fisherman. It was certainly the most beautiful dance the fisherman had ever seen, and probably the most beautiful dance that had ever been danced anywhere on this earth, since angels usually dance the angel's dance high up in the heavens. The air was filled with heavenly music, and the feathered robe sparkled in the sun until the entire island was wrapped in rainbows. As the angel danced, she rose slowly in the air, higher and higher, until finally she disappeared far up in the blue sky. The fisherman stood watching the sky and remembering the beautiful dance he'd seen. He knew that he'd never be lonely or poor again, not with such a beautiful memory to carry always in his heart. The